Just want to let y'all know first that there is a webinar on how to do this online as well. So just a little background, I've been doing this for about 1.5 years, and I think you always will hear them saying, what is your why? Why are you doing this? And so I always felt like, well, if I was selling and if I was promoting, my why had to be I was replacing my job. And it wasn't clicking for me. And I was really struggling. And I was doing a lot of essential oil workshops, but not doing a whole lot of parties because I was a little intimidated myself by the word party. I'm not a good cook. I'm not a good organizer. I was freaked out. So then all of a sudden I realized I love my job. I've got a great job. It's flexible. This isn't about replacing my job. So what is my why? And it was the exact why I told Susan when I met her. I'm into health, I'm a nurse, I'm looking for something healthy, and I want to have some fun and I want to travel. And once I figured out my why, I took off, because I was struggling with my why. So figure out what your why is, and your why is going to be different from everybody else. So going into why I did the mini facials, parties intimidated me. The word party freaked me out. If I'm going to have 5 or 6 people in my house, now I don't know what to do. So I watched this webinar, and it was all about simple. The other struggle I have, which will surprise you because I seem like I have a big mouth, is I get a little intimidated, or a lot intimidated, calling people. So when I did the webinar online, I think I took pictures of my computer, but I literally took snapshots of things that I wanted to remember. And one of those things was the script. And I'm looking for it right now. When I call people, as I hit their number, I go to my photo and I read this script, which I've been doing it so long now, it may be back in January. And I read it verbatim. As I'm doing more of these, I can ad lib a little bit more, but I didn't want to be nervous. And so here it is. So I would quickly call and I say, hey, Susan, how are you?
Good, hey.
Good. How's your new year going?
Great. Having a good time.
Good. Hey, I have a quick question for you. Now, this one says, I just started a new business. Some of these people know I've been doing it a while. So I say, I am earning a trip to London with NYR Organic. And part of my ability to win this trip is I want to give 30 women a free mini facial this month. It's a beautiful facial that we will customize to your skin, and it will leave your skin just glowing. You will do the facial yourself, since I'm not an esthetician, and I'll walk you through it step by step. It only takes about 20 minutes, and I'll give you some free samples for helping me out. I have Tuesday and Thursday available. Which one would work better for you?
Oh, gosh. Well, let me look. I think I could do Thursday.
Fantastic. Do you have any skin concerns you want to look at while we're there?
Absolutely.
What's your biggest one?
Aging, wrinkles. Yes.
Get in line. I get it. So I will bring you some fun stuff. We're going to have a blast. And if you want to share it with your friend, I'll have another free gift for you. I'll see you Thursday.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. So that got me over my fear of calling. And I still use the script when I call them because I don't want to get stuttering over things. So the other thing is, again, tell them your availability. What I was doing 6 months ago was, so when do you want to do it? So that looks like I, 1, have no business because obviously I have a free calendar. And 2, I'm not, people do better with choices. When I go to some of these restaurants and they're these big menus, I'm done. I can't pick it out. But if you give me 3 or 4 things, now I'm happy. So I give them 2 or 3 dates. The first 10 people I called, I only had 2 no's. And you work around those objections. What is their concerns? One of them, in all fairness, said to me, my husband is in the middle of going through chemo and radiation. And I said, this is a horrible time for you. And I'm so sorry. And may I touch base with you in a month or 2? And that's what I did. So that's one thing. The other thing is now you're going to keep it simple. And for me, again, it was me overwhelming myself. And now some of my facials are turning into 2 and 4 people, which, okay, 4 is a party, but not in my head. It's still a mini facial. So I can do that and I'm okay. So
sometimes you do it one-on-one?
Yes, and there's a reason why I love the one-on-one, and I have no problems doing one-on-one. And my minimum sales for one-on-one, I've been hitting 100 every single time. I just did a double facial 2 days ago, and it was 400, and they even wanted to buy more, and I said, why don't we wait till your follow-up, and who do you want to bring with you to share this? Because one of the other takeaways, and that's why I encourage you to watch the webinar as well, is Amy Hafner said, it's about the person and not the party. And that changed everything for me. I really want to get to know these people. I want them to be my customers 6 months and a year from now, or join my team, whatever it is, but it's about building a relationship for me. So I love the one-on-one. So what do I bring with me? Very easy. I bring washcloths. I try to put them in a bag because that's what the wet one's going to go in. Sometimes I forget to bring the bag. My hostess offers me one, so no big deal. I have a mirror. Okay, so what if 4 people are there? They can pass around the mirror. It's not a big deal. My hostess ran and got another mirror. This is all I bring. Washcloths, 1 mirror. I have some catalogs, obviously, and I put, but again, find your own rhythm. I put whatever the free monthly thing is in their catalog, and I have a catalog in here. I have my flip chart, which, to be honest with you, I hardly use, but I'll tell you about that in a minute, but I have it in here with me. I have a clipboard that I have order forms, but I also have, and I'll pass these around. Oh goodness, I may have a bazillion of everything. Let's see if I have a blank one. I have one filled out. I have the Your Organic Skincare Consultation. Okay, and that is all in our back office. It's a free download. And what I use this for is a tool just to chit chat with a person and really get to know them and make this feel non-threatening. And I'm usually doing the writing, and I'll tell you about that in a second, but I'm showing you what you have to have or should have with you. I have my little cotton things, and then I have my products, which we'll get to in a second. And that always stays in my bag. I have some of the little spatulas. And I have my calendar because we're going to book their follow-up with some of their friends. And then I have, I don't even say a word what this is. I have this bag, gorgeous, and then just leave it sitting there. And if they brought a friend, I've got a gift. So as soon as I sit in and they brought a neighbor, I'm like, thank you so much for sharing. This is for you. So this is what stays in my bag all the time. I'm ready all the time. I don't have to do anything different. And I can go from 2 to 3 to 4 people without doing a thing because it's all sitting here. I also have a hostess packet. And I'm going to show you what you put in your hostess packet because, again, it's all in downloads. There's an instruction on what to put in your hostess information packet. I spend 30 minutes putting one together in the middle of the month, and then it's all sitting here. I'll show you that in a second. And then I have a recruiting packet. So that's it. That's what's in my bag. That's all I bring. And that doesn't feel intimidating to me. So now I come in, and I'm meeting with Susan, and I say, Susan, thank you so much. I don't have my flip chart. I'm not talking about NYR. I'm talking about the person. And I say, I am so glad this is going to be so much fun. Now, you said, tell me your major concern.
Well, just, fine lines, wrinkles, kind of dry.
Okay, so dry skin, and I write it down, and I'm writing down the information. But I'm building a rapport with them. I mean, my last group, they said aging, and I died laughing. I was like, get in line. I get it, So, well, tell me, what is your current skincare? What are you doing for your face?
Just a whole hodgepodge of stuff,
Okay.
I pick up at the Kroger.
All right. Do you use a moisturizer? I mean, a cleanser or a soap? And so
I use Dove soap.
Okay, so you use Dove soap. Do you do it once a day or twice a day?
Twice a day.
Twice a day. Okay, that's great.
Yeah, I heard if you don't wash your face, you age 7 days.
You're so smart, Susan. You're doing great. Have you tried a toner?
No, I really, it's just.
All right, well, we're going to try one today. I think you'll like it. What about a moisturizer?
I do use a moisturizer because my skin feels dry, but even that still feels dry.
Okay. Do you use it once a day, twice a day?
Twice a day.
Okay, great. Do you like water when you cleanse? Do you like a thicker product? You like the water. Okay, so do you see what I'm saying? I'm just talking to her and I'm trying to figure out what is she using, what would be best for her, and then I go from there. Now, I do keep in my side pocket, just in case I've got some people that just say, ugh, I have no skincare routine. I don't want a skincare routine. I use soap and water. Okay, then I've got my 2-step Ella. And I have that just in case. I've yet to have to pull it out. But I do it just in case somebody says, I'm low maintenance. I don't want it 3 steps. You're freaking me out. No big deal. Do I have something for you? Okay. So I keep that in there just in case. So now we've kind of gone through it. And I say to Susan, we are going to go ahead and try the facial. I'm so excited to share with you NYR. Now, I've still not talked about NYR, right? I still haven't said a whole lot about why I'm doing it. And I have out usually already, I keep these 3 products together. And that's my cleanser, my moisturizer, and the toner. Because I want them to start on what I would consider our basic products. I want them to understand that, this is a great starting point. From a business standpoint, that makes sense. They're going to need it again in a couple of months. It gets them started on loving our products, and you can go from there. So I start off with, this is our frankincense cleanser, and it comes in 2 types. We're going to try the refining cleanser because it's a little bit thicker. You can kind of spoil yourself. You can put it on without water, and then we'll take it off. So I hand it to her, and I put just a little bit, and I'm saying to her a little bit about the frankincense. It's, it revives your skin. You'll see it glowing, and I kind of talk a little bit about it now, but I want it on her skin. So I put a little bit in her hand. She's putting on with my mirror. They're passing their mirror around. If there's more than 2 or 3 people, it's okay. And I'm saying, can you smell it? Doesn't it smell so good? I fell in love with the smell. So now I'm starting to explain to her what I like about the products. I just go up to her sink, I get some hot water, I hand it over to her, she takes her cleanser off. So far, I haven't had anybody that has not wanted to do it on their face. I had 2 ladies the other day that they were both going out to dinner that night and said, we don't want to do it on our face. And as soon as we started talking and having fun, the one goes, I'm taking my makeup off. And both went at it. So it was fun. If you've got a group that came in and they're made up and they don't want to, I have them do it on one hand. And I have them start comparing the differences. So that's our cleanser. Then I start with our toner, and I said, this is our 2nd step, and you use it twice a day. And our frankincense actually helps nourish the skin. It has therapy to it. I mean, this is a great one. It helps, and I talk a little bit about it, but I'm not overwhelming them, and I'm not overwhelming myself. I still have a lot to learn about our products, and I'm still trying to learn them, but I give them the 1 or 2 or 3 things that I can remember. So I hand them a cotton ball, and I pass this around. Again, I'm saying, have to use a little bit, but smell it. Can you stand it? I mean, and so they're starting to really have fun at this time. And again, it goes back to, it's about the person and not the party. And for me, I'm not doing parties. I'm doing mini facials. And the weird thing is I can have 20 people at an essential oil workshop and I'm okay. But I flip out if I think I'm doing this party. But what I've learned is as I start doing these, each time I do one, I'm learning something and I'm getting more comfortable. And that's what your goal is. You want to start getting your rhythm. And the first one I did, I really came home and I thought, what could you have done different? You weren't real enthusiastic. Okay, be a little bit happier about this. The second one, I was halfway through the whole thing and totally forgot to tell her about NYR. But we were having so much fun talking that all of a sudden I realized, I didn't talk about NYR. Okay, I'll tell her at the end, and that's what I did. So you can get your own rhythm going, where I guess initially with the parties, I felt like I had to be perfect. And what I'm learning with the mini facials is I don't have to be perfect. And so now the parties, I don't feel quite so threatened by them at all. So now I say to them, well, we're going to try a couple masks. Fantastic to do once or twice a week. Do you guys do masks? Do you do a mask? Mm-hmm. How often?
Maybe once a month.
I get it. It's hard to find the time, but if you can find 5 or 10 minutes, it is so good for your skin. So you were saying, Susan, that you felt your skin was a little dry. So I'm going to have you try our Wild Rose Beauty Balm because it is such a good moisturizing mask. You can use it for so many things. Now I'm telling them about Wild Rose Balm. I let them pass it around and smell it. I let them put it on their cuticles, and Susan's going to put it on her face. Then I say to the other girl, do you want to try a more firming mask? The clay mask takes longer to dry, but it's harder to get off their faces. So I tell them about the white tea tree, but I tell them this is a firming mask. And then I tell them a couple fun tidbits about it. You know, what the benefit is going to be, but that you can put it on and sleep in it. And it really tones up your skin, and your skin will feel great. But then I make them laugh, and I say, don't do what I did though, because I woke up and I'm getting ready for work, and I thought, man, I look good. And then I realized I still had the mask on, and that was what was making my skin so tight. And so they laughed, and we just passed it around. So I've got one, if there's two people, one in one mask and one in the other. So now I've got a captive audience. And that's when I say to them, what are you liking the best so far? What's been your favorite that you've tried?
I think this mask smells amazing.
Okay, so you like the mask. I do too. I love that rose essential oil. Let me just tell you a little bit about NYR. Now, if I'm having an off day and I'm feeling like, okay, I can't remember anything, I will pull my flip chart out and start reading. Sometimes what I do is I turn to things in the catalog because it's showing them the catalog. And I'll say, see, I don't blame you for loving Wild Rose Balms. You know, it's one of our top sellers. It is. It's just one of our customers' favorite. But what's really wonderful about NYR is it's an ethical company. It's not just that the products are good for your skin. They're good for the environment. We're taking care of the environment too, and that was important to me. Because as a nurse and as a mom, I'm looking for things that are important to the environment. And how I stumbled into NYR, now I'm telling them my story and why I want to do it. I was eating better, and I was, working out, and then all of a sudden I realized I wasn't reading anything on my labels. And I started researching because nurses are nerds and we love to research. And I found this company, and they come from England. They were established back in 1983, 85, whatever it is. You get to be my age, you forget the numbers. So I come up with 83, 85, and they, it's fine. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to have fun. And and I say to them, in England, they ban 1,400 chemicals in their skincare products. We only ban 14 over here, and that's scary to me. And our products come from England. So I just feel like I'm putting a safer product on my skin, because when you put something on your skin, it absorbs in your skin in just a couple minutes. And so that's important. And so I first started with this company because I tried the products and I loved the products, and I've got this Irish skin that for the first time in my life, people are saying to me, your skin is gorgeous. And I've never heard that. And for the first time in my life, I'll leave my house with no makeup on. So you see, they've got the masks on, they've had fun. Now I'm kind of bringing in the why. And then I'll say, and then I expanded into sharing this with everybody because I want y'all to know about these products. They're so safe and they're so effective. And oh yeah, my company gives away trips, and I'm winning a trip to London. So I tell them a little bit about it. So now I hand out, and that's it. You can use the flip chart. Sometimes and I draw an absolute blank. I'll flip and I'll just say, why is organic important, you guys? And I just start reading it. And that's all I'm doing. And that's when I'm just having a moment where the coffee hasn't kicked in. So again, to me, the mini facials are simplistic. You're getting your point across, and they're trying the products. So now I pass out the washcloths, they take off their masks. Now I go to, and I say, this is step 3 of our 3-step collection. And the reason why I emphasize the 3-step collection is when I go to wrapping things up, they can get a 15% discount on this. And that's good for them, And so then I'll say to them, this is our Frankincense Intense Moisturizer. Love, love, love this product. And I'll flip to this. And again, I'm using my chart to start showing them a little bit about the product, the before and after pictures, why it works, things like that. So I'm talking to them now. I've not given them their catalog yet. I'm still using mine. So that's when I say to them, smell this. Can you stand it? Take a little bit of this. You only need a little bit. Put it on. How are you feeling? And they're getting excited. So I do say to them, you know, once you're started on our 3-step, we have some other things. You know, we have eye cream, and I pass out the eye cream. And again, I've got the frankincense intense, but I also have the white tea gel. And the reason why I have both is I use both. I put some on in the morning when my eyes are just a little puffier. I put these on and I show them how to put it on. I pass it around. I let them choose which one they want to do. That's all I'm showing. So can you do this if you don't have the white tea gel? Sure, just show the stuff that came in your kit. It's pretty simple. You don't have to know everything. I happen to just have started to use the frankincense oil. I have that. I'm always, always, always going to bring the free product with me. Okay, and that I'll show them at the end. So now we're kind of wrapping it up, and they've tried the moisturizer, they've tried some eye cream. And Susan, how is your skin feeling?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I cannot believe it.
Look at it after one use. Can you believe it? And now,
wow.
Well, no, I'm telling you, after 3 days, I'm calling my mother and I'm telling my mother how great my skin looks. She goes, "You've used it for 3 days." And I go, "Well, even if it's the placebo effect, I don't care. I'm really happy." But it does moisturize and make your skin more radiant. And you do see that right away. So I say to them, okay, I just want to share with you as we're wrapping this up, a couple of really neat things, and I show them the free product, and I say, for a $100 purchase, this is your free gift. And now this I do know a lot about, so whatever it is, I do know a lot about it. This is our Good Night Pillow Mist, and it has lavender, vetiver, mandarin, geranium, and chamomile. Spray this and just soak back into your pillow. It's lovely. Here, and I pass it around, and they're spraying it, and they're falling in love with it. So if I just have one person or 2 or 3, I hand them the catalog and I'll say, now's the fun part. Now you get to go shopping. Remember, with a $100 purchase, you get that free. And what I really want to point out to you and really recommend is the 3 steps that you guys tried and you're already seeing a difference in your skin, it's 15% off. So it's a really, really good deal for you. And anyway, so I pass that around, and then I sit down with Susan and I'll say, which products can you not live without today? Which ones are you most interested in? And I have been selling pretty much the 3-step process. At my last one, and then what I've been saying to either get the booking is, once they've placed an order, I'll say, if you want to share your follow-up, and that's what my key thing is I'm going to have a follow-up appointment with you because I want to see how this is working, and I want to see if you want to add things to it. At the last show, they did all order a mask, but then they were like, well, what about the eye cream? What about the serum? What about this? What about that? And I'm thinking, I don't want people overwhelmed. And I don't want a $400 sale at the cost of losing this person, you know, and you can kind of feel people out. And I'll say, listen, you got the mask, you've got this. This is a fabulous start. Try it for a week or 2. And at the follow-up, we can start deciding what else you want to add to it. And I've got a great deal for you. Deal or no deal. If you want to share this with a couple of your friends, you can have what's in this box. And most of them will say, okay, great. But they have to pick a date. And I have 2 or 3 dates picked out that they can choose from. Again, this is all a learning process because the first one, they took the deal, didn't give me a date, and I still don't have a date from them. The ones that give you the date get the bag. And in here are some of our travel sizes. And I also put gift certificates in here. But in the gift certificates, I say, may redeem at your next appointment. So that's what this is.
And the date, I'm sorry, is for what? For them to have their friends?
Friends.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And I'll say, if you will share this with 2 or 3 of your friends, you can have pick one of these. And I usually have 2 or 3 sitting out there, and they can pick which one they want. So that's how I get to more of their friends. If they say, and I've had one say, I can't do a party because I know 2 of our neighbors are with Redmond Field, so I can't do a party for you. Okay. Do you have any friends, though, that I could just call and offer a mini facial to? And the more you get out there, I now have neighbors running into me saying, oh, I hear you do facials. I want one. So to me, this is a very non-intimidating way to get the products on people and then start expanding to their friends. Questions? Okay.
Have you
So,
done any
and
facials on me?
no,
Not with me.
no, but I would not be opposed to. And I do have one male customer, and he uses the frankincense line. So again, then I put all this back in my bag, and when I get home, I take my washcloths out, I replace them, I replenish anything, or if I'm exhausted, I wait. But by the next day, I have it done, it goes in one place, and then I can easily pick it up the next day, and I'm not doing anything. I had one girl call me, and she came over with a person, and then 30 minutes before they were coming over, I did it at my house. She said, I'm bringing one more person. I said, great. All I had to do was put out one more form, one more washcloth. I put out a bottle of water, and when the girl came, she goes, how did you get this ready? We just called you. And I said, it's easy. I just keep everything in this bag. And so you want to be duplicatable. You want somebody to realize this is easy. And my mindset was the parties weren't easy. But now that I'm learning and I'm feeling comfortable, 3 or 4 people are still mini facials, but I can do them. And so start off with something that's fast and easy for you. And these only take a little while. They're faster to me than doing, the whole flip chart. But again, you share and go along with them during the mask. So I've loved them. I've had great success, and I still use the little cheat bit sheet when I call them. I click it every single time, and I'm sitting there and I'm reading it to them. And I don't take offense to their no's. I just say, no, this isn't a good time. I get it. Would it be all right if I touch base with you in a month? And I always try to get myself a reason to do that. And that's it.
Now people buy from people they like and feel comfortable with. I mean, wouldn't you want to buy from Susie?
Well, we're having fun.
Yeah.
And, that's what I'm really enjoying is I'm walking in like the woman's house that I went to the other day. I met her once a year and a half ago. She bought one thing. It was at a big party. And I called her. I used my little spiel. She's like, sure, okay, and had her neighbor over. When I walked in, I put my bag aside and it had nothing to do with NYR. I loved her house. I walked in, it was like this pale blue color, and I'm like, this makes me so happy. Tell me about your house. And so we're talking about all these other things. And so we're getting to know each other. So it's about the person, not the party. And I still want them to head in this direction because it's a great deal, and I know they're going to see a difference. So, and it's also going to build my business. So these have worked really well for me.
One of the things I observed that you did, and this was something at Leadership Sue Rush was a speaker, and one of the things she was teaching us in selling, she said, share with people, this is what we have, here's what it does, and this is how it'll make you feel. Mm-hmm. Make you feel happy, younger, cleaner.
Anything.
Radiant.
Yes. You're going to turn heads when you walk in the room. I mean, you want them to have fun and listen to it. The other thing I do is I don't bash other companies. The 2 women that I just did the facials on and they all switched over had bought from another neighbor the road and in Fields. And as soon as they said it, I'm thinking, okay, now what do I do? And I just kept talking about our product and what did you like or not like? And they said, well, I bet it has a bunch of chemicals in it. And I didn't say, yes, it does. I said, what I love about NYR is the fragrance is all essential oils. And did you know if something is fragrance free, they've added a chemical to it to make it fragrance free? And so I just keep talking about why I like us. Then they said, yeah, and you've got to auto ship, and I haven't even run out of my products. And I said, oh, we don't do auto shipping. I'll just touch base with you, and if you want to try one new thing, so I don't go after other companies. I just kind of keep talking about how we would benefit them. Although I really wanted to, but I don't. but y'all, a lot of this, if you had asked me to do this for you 2 months ago, I couldn't have done it. Because I didn't have my rhythm, but I've now done 8 mini facials and I've got my rhythm. And that's what this is about. And for me, my why is I want to win that trip. I'm going to London. And so the only way I'm going to go to London is by getting this out there. Is your why you want a car payment? Is your why you have a child in college? Is your why you just want your products free? I don't pay for my products. I don't. Because I sell and I get them, either I combine orders or whatever, but people are starting getting used to me calling. The other thing I do is I've already sent 2 thank you notes out to these 2 women, and I either put a sample in it or I put a tea bag, which we'll be getting ours back. And I put these fun stickers on them. I've got one sheet that just says, and again, you do what works for you. I've got to have something organizing me, because I tend not to be very organized. So this says, I really appreciate your business. And I put that in the back of their envelope. So I like these, and I can tell you where I ordered them from. And then, I know I'm kind of going off segue.
Great.
I have a System 2 stolen from Chris, our ambassador, Chris and Khan, that has the months of the year. So the sales that I'm doing now, January, February, March, I stick them in April. So in April, that's why I pull out and I call. I'm still going to touch base with people about the gifts and things like that, but these are the people I'm calling for reorders. So it keeps it simple. It's closed. It's in my closet. It's just really easy. The other thing I do at the end when they're ordering, I'll say, let's book a time for your follow-up, or we try to do deal or no deal, and do you want to invite some friends? And I have the, see, I told you if I don't have this written down, I can't remember a thing. Hostess packet. And put some fun stickers on it. And what's in here is exactly what is on our back office as to what to put in the hostess packet.
So now, do you give that when you give them just one-on-one facial, or you
Yeah.
wait for them to?
When they're doing,
it,
if they've said they're going to pick a date with me,
then you.
I pick out my calendar, but I already have a sheet that I have 3 dates on. And I'm going to give them a choice of those 3 dates. I'll say, this is what I have available. And usually it's a Tuesday, Thursday, or maybe a Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, or a Saturday, because that's what works for me. And I think what I was doing before was trying to please everybody all of the time. And 1, it didn't look professional. And 2, it didn't allow me to do the things that I needed to do. I work, I'm a mom. So this has fit really good for me. But I pull this out. We pick the date. We talk about what other products they'd like, this kind of stuff. I show them what all they could get free. And then I leave them with this. And I tell them there's some catalogs in here. If you have some friends that can't come, there's some order forms. Get their orders. It'll count towards your free product. You don't have to do this, but I have postcards that are invitations, but mainly for them to hand out. I'll say to them, hey, how do you want to invite people? Should we e-bite them? Or if you go to our website, there are party invitations there, and I show them where those are, but you can hand these out too. But again, when you're starting off, you don't have to have the cards, put in here what you can. I always have the Goodnight Pillow Mist either in here, but I generally put it in their catalog because I'm going to give it to them. And then another thing that I'm going to try is, I just texted the 2 women that I'm doing the follow-up with, and I said, hey, kind of glance through the catalog. If you see anything you want to try, let me know, and I'll make sure to bring it as a follow-up. But what I'm getting them to do is take a look and see that we have deodorants, that we have essential oils, that we have, those kind of things. So just trying to get them to kind of expand and see what else is out there. The other thing I tell them usually in my intro is that we're a head-to-toe organic company. So, okay. Sorry, I talked way too long.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, let's see. How do I?